Just doing a quick video on the DSG build that I'm starting on. Just a parts rundown really. I will be using a Parent V2. Hopefully that arrives tomorrow. I've been doing everything else I can in the meantime to get ready for it. So I'm using the MK V2 CNC gearbox for this build. The bushings, they are SHS. I found them on AliExpress, and they're quite low profile on the inside, but they do protrude a little bit on the outside of the gearbox, but that's not going to affect anything. They're steel, they actually look pretty good. Normally I would use the Retro Arms or Lonex low profile, but these are $7, so I'm going to give them a crack and see how they go. T-piece I'll be using is just the Fighting Bro metal T-piece, and I'll be using V2 style cylinder head and nozzles. I've got two nozzles that I have that I'm going to try. This one here is the V2 nozzle, and it's got a modified 3D printed SLR tip. So see how that one goes. And also this one is just a V2 nozzle, and I just machined down the end of it so that it will fit the Wells nozzle, and then both of those nozzles will work with the Fighting Bro T-piece. Now the cylinder and the cylinder head that I'll be using, just a V2 cylinder head and then just this generic rainbow colored cylinder. I did have to trim the end of that off just slightly. Now what I've done, instead of using a one-piece cylinder, there's one-piece cylinders. I mean, if you buy from Australia, you're looking say $40, $55 Australian. If you buy it off AliExpress, off one of the cheaper sellers, you're looking at still $25 Australian. This here costs $7, and the cylinder costs $5, so that's $12. And some of you may or may not agree with what I do, but I actually epoxy the cylinder head into the cylinder, so that provides pretty much the exact same steel you're going to get from a one piece. And I've done the exact same thing in my other DSG builds, and I have not run into any problems. So if you do epoxy it in, you can reuse the cylinder, but pretty much the cylinder head is rendered useless once you pull it out. But considering that costs $12 compared to $55 if you tried to buy one off an Australian retailer, and I'm just gonna go with $12 every time. And being a DSG build, you do pull them apart more and service them more often, so it's no big deal. The washer, well, the pad that I'm using on the cylinder head is actually a tap washer. It's a 15mm one I got from Bunnings. It comes in this packet. So the 15mm yellow premium washer, that's the one that I use. You've got the 12mm, the 15mm. Because of the bigger diameter, it seems to work a lot better. And I'm using one of my other DSG that I've got at the moment, and they hold together really well. They take the punishment quite well, so I'll continue to use those. I don't see any reason to change. As you can see, this one's slightly used, but again, it's a $7 cylinder head, so I'm not really worried about buying a couple more. This is just a generic V2 style trigger that I had in a previous build. I've done the little hair trigger mod that I've done on my other builds, and in this one you can see that corner there has been trimmed off. So in the build that it was in, I was using a gate tighten, and I found that corner, it would rub on the wires because the gate tighten wires, they're quite thick. So I just trimmed the corner off, and that made it a lot easier. It wasn't catching on the wires anymore. And then also I did the same or similar thing with the safety catch. So that would normally sit here, like so. And again, it was rubbing on the wires, so all I did was take a Dremel and just thin that out a little bit, and didn't have any more issues with the safety catching on the wires and getting stuck. Something you can look at if you're having similar issues. The O-ring I'm going to start off with is a green O-ring. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the brown O-rings. I haven't really had any big improvements using the brown O-rings. The ones that I do like are from Gel Blasters Australia. They were selling these red O-rings that are still brown, but they're my favorite ones at the moment. I don't have any more, so I'm just going to use the green O-ring to start with. The tappet I'll be using just your standard Wells style tappet. I do like these. I find them quite durable. You may, if you go down the same route, have to trim a little bit off here, maybe, and also just thin this portion out as well. I do like these. They've got that little bit of extra meat where the tail starts, and I find them to be really durable, so I'll keep using them until I find something better. Barrel, I've got this lying around, so I'll probably utilize this. It's a Gold Series Bruisemaster barrel that I cut down for something else, so I'll probably use this. Springs, I've got two springs, so I've got an M180 and an M170, so we'll see how the M170 spring goes. And maybe I might have to move up to the M180, we'll see. It's just one of those things that you don't know sometimes until you put it all together. Motor wise, I really want to get hold of a 22 TPA armature. I've got an 18. I might try and use the 18, I don't know how that's going to go. I do have the 32 TPA that I built a while ago, but I really want this to be more of a speed build. Depends on what I can get my hands on when I'm putting it all together. The receiver is just going to be a SLR receiver. I just use this because it's easy to work with. And then you got the pistol grip. I guess just make sure that the pistol grip and the gearbox, when they're inside the receiver, sit flush. Otherwise you can put your motor and your pinion gear out of alignment with the bevel gear. So what I normally do, doesn't matter what blaster, is I will trim that by at least 1/2 mil to 1 mil, so that when it actually sits in, the gearbox is in the receiver and it's all together, there's the tiniest of gap like that. So I know that it's sitting flush on the gearbox and it's not pulling the gearbox in any weird direction, so everything lines up nice. And that's pretty much it, I think. So once I get the pairing, hopefully tomorrow, I'll solder that up and install it, and then hopefully have it running by Tuesday, and I'll do another video.